Hi, I'm Reea Pawley, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and a life coach and counsellor, as well as being a channeler. I channel the goddess Ma'at, the Egyptian goddess of truth, justice, and harmony. So I'm very well connected in spirit, and I use those energies when I'm doing my hypnotherapy work as an extra component of my psychic ability and my healing ability. It gives me a conduit to source energy that can be very helpful when we're doing that kind of work. So I want to talk to you today about hypnotherapy. You know, there are some wild and wacky myths out there about what hypnotherapy is and what it isn't, and some people are still frightened of it and not using it to their advantage, because I think it's an amazing tool. I think that in my own life, it's been very, very helpful at helping me overcome a lot of really severe issues that I had when I was younger. And I've been doing hypnotherapy now for about 15 years, and I know that it's helped a lot of people. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it works for everybody, because nothing does. Even the pills that the doctor gives you don't necessarily work, right? People have operations and that doesn't necessarily work. So when it comes to healing, nothing works for everybody. But if you're so inclined and it resonates with you that using the power of your mind and having access to your own unconscious mind and higher self is something that resonates with you, then it would be great for you to try it out. Now, I want to talk to you about some of the myths about hypnotherapy because, as I said, there's a lot of misinformation out there. One of the main things that people think is that they're going to come and have one hypnotherapy session and that's going to cure all their problems, and that's not true. When it comes to healing, you are the one that is healing yourself. All healing is self-healing. So some people, a very small amount of people who are highly suggestible, could get a really great result out of one hypnotherapy session if they were working on something simple. But for most people, they will need repeated sessions of hypnotherapy to get used to it, to trust it, to trust themselves, to really make use of it. Now, what's hypnotherapy good for? It's good for changing behaviors like smoking and nail biting and all that sort of thing. But that's not the work I do. The work I do is really around regression therapy, which is going back to the past and healing negative memories, healing childhood trauma, healing memories of abuse, and turning those around. Hypnotherapy is really good for post-traumatic stress disorder and the kind of PTSD that you get from childhood trauma, which is called complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It's also good for healing relationship trauma and relationship issues and helping people move on. It's great for connecting to your own higher guidance, your own spirit guides. So it has a variety of uses. In order to use hypnotherapy productively, you have to know some things first. So here's what you need to know. You need to know that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis, that no one can hypnotize you against your will. And it's a completely normal state of your consciousness. You are in and out of trance all day, whether you understand it or not. You go into trance driving the car to work in the morning. Tell me those, if you haven't, those people who haven't got in the car and your mind's been off somewhere busy doing something, you have no memory of turning corners, changing gears, indicating, stopping, starting at traffic lights, and all of a sudden you come to, you wake up and you're at work. That happens to people all the time. You're in a trance when you do that. You fall into a trance when you're watching television. You might go into a trance reading a book. You might go into trance when you're on public transport, on a bus, or you're just sitting in your lounge room. And you certainly go into a hypnagogic or trance state every night as you drift off to sleep. It's perfectly normal, but no one can do it to you. It's something that your hypnotherapist facilitates with you. So we do it together. And you have to trust yourself and trust the process and trust your hypnotherapist in order to be able to relax and go into a relaxed state. Now, there are quick ways of getting people into a hypnotic trance, but they require shock. And when someone comes to see me for therapy, I'm not going to shock them into a trance. The way that we do it is through relaxation, and we start off in a kind of meditative or creative visualization process, and we go deeper and deeper and deeper in that way. So all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. No one can hypnotize you against your will. No one can make you do anything under trance that you wouldn't ordinarily do. So your integrity, your principles, your values and your morals are very much intact when you go into trance. You still know who you are. You still have some awareness of your surroundings. Remember, you're a multi-dimensional being. So that means you can be in more than one place at the same time in your mind and in your body, well, in your whole being, but most of us don't understand that yet, so we'll leave that aside for the moment. But just imagine that while you're deeply in trance and you're talking to me about a past memory and re-experiencing a memory from childhood, there's an aspect of you that knows that you're laying on the couch in my office, and so you still have that awareness. You don't lose awareness. It's normal to come in and out of trance depth. So at sometimes during your hypnotherapy, you might be really deeply in trance, and other times not so deeply in trance. You can bring yourself out of it at any time you choose. So if you are, for instance, feeling fearful about going into trance, please know that you can wake yourself up at any time you wish. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. It's important that you get to know your hypnotherapist. So when I have people in and I get them in for hypnotherapy, I always spend some time taking a past history, finding out what their issues are, finding out what their fears are, and making them feel comfortable before I actually hypnotize them. Those are the basics that you need to know. It's not scary. It's a normal state of consciousness. It's a very powerful way of accessing your unconscious mind, which is, after all, the 90% of your mind that is directing all of your emotions and most of your thoughts and most of your behaviors, and replaying a lot of those old stories that you keep telling yourself that keep you stuck in the past. If you're going to have a hypnotherapy session, the first session is always 2 to 3 hours, because of all of those things that I said. I need to get a history. We need to plan the best way to use hypnotherapy, because there are many ways to use hypnotherapy. The best way for you, given your situation, talk through your fears, and you know, there's a little bit of counseling that goes along with a hypnotherapy session too. So it's important that you talk and that we get to know each other. And then we do a hypnotic induction, which could take half an hour the first time you go into trance, to get you nice and relaxed and comfortable. And then we'll do whatever work we need to do. Now, very seldom do we just do suggestion therapy, which is when you're a passive recipient. I've hypnotized you and you're laying there as if you're asleep, and I'm speaking quietly inside your mind. That's like kindergarten hypnosis. It does work, and I use it as well as other forms of hypnotherapy when I'm working with people, but I would very rarely, if seldom, use it as the only thing that I do when I'm working with you. So there is effort on your part. There is work that you have to do that we get to do together, and you're just as much as in control of your therapy as I am. Remember, I'm only the facilitator, the one that is supporting you to make the changes that you wish to make in your life. Now, I'd love to talk to you. If you're thinking of having hypnotherapy, please pick up the phone and give me a call, email me, send me a message, get onto my website and have a look. There's lots of information on there, and I'd love to talk to you about it before you book an appointment. But if you're ready to make that change and you would like to try hypnotherapy, you can go straight to my website, reea.com.au, and book yourself an appointment. It's been lovely chatting with you today. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more of these videos, and leave me a comment if you'd like to connect with me. Namaste.